Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome to Los Angeles, California. We're getting ready to head to Ehrenberg in Arizona, making our way east. So let's get to it. I'm gonna hop right in here, fire it up, let's get rolling. We've got our double pup set, our little double pup set. We don't need lights. It's 8 a.m. I don't think we need lights. I was wondering if we did. We don't. We've got our double pup set, and we are loaded with furniture. Even though our double pups are reefers, for some reason this furniture likes to stay cool. What can you do? So we're making our way east to get ready for the Utah DLC, but I don't think we need to hurry. I saw 1.36 beta is available for ETS 2. As of this morning, Friday, I haven't seen anything about 1.36 beta for ATS, and we've got a release date, a general release date for Road to the Black Sea, November of 2019. But I don't see a release date, even an approximate one, for Utah. So I'm wondering if, I don't think they could. I definitely think they wouldn't want to have separate patches, right? 1.36 for ETS and not for ATS. But I don't know. Maybe they'll hold one. I feel like they're trying to keep things in sync lately, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff all the time. It's crazy how much I'm wrong. It's crazy, I tell you. Right. So that's what's going on with Truck Sim. In other sim gaming news, sometimes when we're driving the truck, I don't have enough things to tell you. Today, I have too many things to tell you. I don't even know if I can get through all this before we get to Arizona, but I will do my best. So we've got patches. We've got patches for F1 2019. Made the game sort of accurate to the 2019 season. You know, be careful what you wish for. Just a couple weeks ago, I was thinking, man, it'd be awesome if there was a way that we could, as sim racers, participate and essentially drive in the real 2019 season. Well, there's no way that can happen. You got them butterfly wings, yo. The things that we do as a driver in the season affect the other drivers in the season. So you see what I mean? We're not racing in a vacuum. We're influencing the season itself, and then the season is influencing us. But they have moved some drivers to different teams that they've swapped to. I don't know what that does. If you're in a season and those drivers have already transferred, I don't know if this puts them back to the new team that they're on. I don't know, but it's tricky. It really is, and I understand why Codemasters does sort of let the game be its own season. It is influenced by the real season as far as balance of power and livery and drivers and that sort of thing. It's influenced by it, but I don't think we can ever fully 100% participate in an F1 season. I just don't think it is practically possible, but it could be. Maybe we'll get there. That is what's going on with F1. Race Room updated. Small update, small patch, but Race Room updated. And then a set of course at Competizione I saw yesterday, maybe the day before, that updated. Massive update. Now, I already thought that game was there when 1.0.8 arrived. 1.0.8, yeah, is that right? Yeah. One of the recent patches. Yep, that'll do it. But this 1.1 it's next level. They have, as Codemasters did, not the two companies aren't related, but as Codemasters did, they brought in 2019 liveries that are accurate. There were some teams, not some teams, some brands. There were some brands that had two cars in Blancpain. Porsche, Lamborghini. What was the third one? Bentley. Had different cars, different years. That's all been sorted out. And apparently there is only, per brand, there is now only one year, make, and model in the series, I think. And that is to reflect the 2019 season. They added pit animations. It's kind of a big deal. And then they got into some really granular stuff, like different tire degradation from different surfaces on different tracks throughout the year. That's unbelievable level of detail. I love it. They added more accurate tire temperatures based on brake temperatures. Crazy. They added buffeting, right? Which is something that has been in the F1 franchise, and you get used to it. When you tuck in tight to a car, when you get into some weird kind of swirly places on certain tracks, you can feel the dirty air slapping your car around. I've never felt that in a sports car racing game. So for them to bring that in is just a crazy level of detail. I love it. And that game, the AI is better, the optimization is better. It is as good as I had hoped it would be, and as good as I thought it could be, and as disappointed as I was the day that it was released, because it was just a mess. In less than 6 months, they've totally put that game right, and I think that could be hopefully a franchise in the same way that F1 is a franchise via Codemasters. I'm hoping that Assetto Corsa Competizione can be a franchise where every season the game gets re-upped, right? New liveries, new cars, but also some tweaks to the gameplay, right? Some tweaks to the optimization. So it's $50 every year, $80 every year, whatever, but you essentially get a whole new game. So we'll see if that happens, but I feel like the game's got, at least looking at it as it is today when I drove it, I feel like that game's got at least 2 or 3 years in it. Probably more, but at least 2 or 3 years. Which means if Kunos and 505 release a sequel, or, like I said, make it into a franchise, which I guess is a sequel, but if they do that within 2 or 3 years, I think it'll be seamless and they can keep that game absolutely state of the art. It does make, oh dear, it does make, first gen Assetto Corsa look a little bit dated, but they said from the beginning that it was never intended to be a direct sequel. So it's not, one really has nothing to do with the other. Different engine, different concept, different everything. It's a racing game. That's all that it has in common. But other than that, it was not intended to be a sequel. And so they've said, don't look at one and think it has anything to do with the other. So, okay. Good like that. So as a standalone franchise, though, it's there. And it's on sale right now, is it not? Yeah, as of Friday, what's today? Friday the 25th? It's on sale for 20% off. I think it's $35 US. Well worth it. Well worth it. Compared to the cost of other top-tier racing games, I mean, I'm paying, like $150 a year for iRacing plus content. So $30, $35 is not a big ask if you're into racing games. Assetto Corsa Competizione. I'm a huge fan. Not a fanboy, but I'm a big fan. I love it. Good on them. So that happened. What else happened? The Platinum expansion for Farming Simulator released. And I said this in the video that I made. It really should be called the Class DLC, and I think it's a bit overpriced. But great equipment. In the video that I didn't do a specific equipment review. I just used a bunch of the new DLC equipment on an existing farm that I already have. But we had work to do, man. We had things to do. And so we did them. And I didn't spend a lot of time in the interiors of the vehicles or comparing sound or some of the other things that you see in a proper mod review. I wasn't really doing a mod review, I guess, to be fair. I was just using a lot of the new equipment on a regular workday on our farm. But when I took a few minutes to spend some time in the interiors look good, the sound is good, the physics and handling, I mean, I know farm sim physics, it ain't really physics, but it's something. But they feel good, they look good, they sound good, really happy with it. I think because of the 17 Platinum expansion, I thought there was going to be a map in there, and there was not. But 35 vehicles, well, they say 35 vehicles, but they're counting things like mowers and trailers. 35 items maybe would be a better way to say it. 35 items, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So excited about that. Greenwich Valley, really, I'm just getting beat up today with the tickets. All right. Greenwich Valley with Seasons was released, and we are bringing that to the channel. Super, super excited about that. I was really impressed with that map when I first saw it, and then shortly after it was released, Seasons came out. I thought, beautiful, this will be converted over in no time flat, toot sweet, and it actually took a few months. But we've got it now, and it's a great map. That is available on the official Farming Simulator 19 mod hub if you want to get it straight from the source and not have to deal with those dodgy Russian mods. You can get it there, and it is good to go. That is super, super cool. Although, hang on, let's make this turn. Carefully. Yes, right through there. Let's make this turn, and then I'll keep yakking at you. However, I got 2 maps going with Seasons now, and there's a lot to do in between. You can't skip stuff with Seasons. I mean, you can speed through the day and then sleep through the night. But as far as the sequence, you know, the various things that you need to do on a farm, you're only allowed to do them when they can be done. So you can't, you know, fertilize 3 times in a single day because you got your crop growth speed cranked up. It ain't like that. So it's going to be a handful keeping 2 maps going with Seasons. And I had thought about doing 1 map with Seasons and 1 without. I like Seasons. What can I say? I really do like it. I really do like it. So let's get this. Let's get our cruise control set. Let's get in a nice fuel efficient gear here. There we go. I guess that's about as efficient as we can be. All the way up. Okay, cool. Let's head to Arizona. What else is going on? Call of Duty Modern Warfare was released the other day. I'm not playing it, but I am watching people play it, and it's next level. It looks like you're watching a movie. I'm amazed by it. And I'm amazed by it even more so because, even though I said I wasn't going to, but I did keep my Uplay Plus membership going. And I did that. I had played the Division 2 a little bit during the trial, and it's an RPG game. You know how I am. My OCD, my need to complete things, to finish things, it's very strong in me. And I wanted to level up a character, and I had not quite leveled up a character. So I did keep my Uplay Plus membership going so that I could level up a character in Division 2. I didn't think Ghost Recon Breakpoint was going to be included in Uplay Plus. I thought for some reason that, sir, he's not going to give you a ticket when he's standing by, when a highway patrolman is standing by another vehicle like that. It's not like he's going to tear himself away from writing a ticket to write you a ticket. Please maintain your speed when passing highway patrol in California. That is a real thing in real life. I don't think the developers did that for that reason, but that is a real thing. Oh shit, a cop, slow down. Well, he's working a crime scene. He's not paying attention to you. Maintain your speed. I didn't think Ghost Recon Breakpoint would be included. I thought, well, I know there are some games that are not part of Uplay Plus. Ubisoft games, not part of that service. And because Ghost Recon Breakpoint just released on like October 4th, 3 weeks ago, I didn't think it would be in there, but it is. It is. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try. I'm just going to dip a toe. I really enjoyed Ghost Recon Wildlands until the end game. The end game got ridiculous, and it turned into almost an RPG style, you know, mobs and boss monsters. Yeah, not a tactical game at all. The series has drifted pretty far from its original roots and is becoming, like all Ubisoft games, an RPG loot-based game. So I was really disappointed, and I was having a hard time completing the end game. I was playing solo, but you get a squad of 3 companions that you can assign little tasks to, and you work together as a group. We were still having a hard time doing it, so what I finally did, the last scene, the climax of the game, you essentially have to assault this massive mausoleum on a small mountain and fight your way to the top and kill El Sueño. And it was RPG style. It was mobs and ridiculous bosses, and I finally got frustrated and just got in an APC, and my team got in with me. Somebody got on the minigun, and I just drove up the steps running people over in an armored vehicle. Got to the top, got out, killed the boss, and that was the end of it. So it was the end of that game was very disappointing for me. And then I had some DLC for it. One was the what is it? I don't know. There's some kind of Predator style invisible monsters that you have to fight. They're people, but they have this cloaking camo. It was silly. And then the other DLC, and this is when I uninstalled the game. The other DLC was like pink monster trucks, pink and lime green monster trucks, and you're jumping them and stealing them from drug lords. Bizarre. And I guess I don't know what Ubisoft was doing. I don't know if they were trying to attract a younger audience or if it was kind of a joke and they were just having some fun. I don't know, but I found it really not offensive, but just it was ridiculous, and I immediately uninstalled the game and haven't touched it since. And I've heard that Ghost Recon Breakpoint is more of a loot-based game even than Wildlands was, and it's not supposed to be a loot-based game at all. Ghost Recon, you pick your kit and you goes out and you fights the bad guys. But it's tactical, one shot, one kill, that sort of thing. And I've heard that Ghost Recon Breakpoint is not that at all, that it is more of an RPG game. If people are saying RPG Light, well, RPG Light is still RPG. A small pizza is still a pizza. So I was curious, and I played it about 5 hours, and I thought, well, this is ridiculous. Can't stand it. It's, as you're leveling up, there's a tremendous amount of loot that's dropping. Bad guys drop loot when you kill them, and then there are chests and loot boxes truly everywhere. And your character score is based on experience, but your gear score is based on the gear that you find, and the gear that you find drops based on your gear score. So if you're a 50, you're going to get drops between 48 and 52. Put on a 52, and it takes your gear score to 51. Now you're going to drop between 49 and 53, etc. And so the higher your gear score is, the more high gear you slap on, the higher the score of the gear that drops, which you can then slap on, etc. But it's a really tedious, it's like a chaos management sim. You're just constantly, and very often you're doing this between firefights. So a piece of gear drops and you want to get it on as quickly as possible because you and your co-op group are about to get in another firefight and you want to be stronger. So it's a tedious process. And at the time that I'm recording this, there is no bulk delete feature as there is in Division 2, where you can go in and very quickly click through and select all the gear you want to get rid of and then either dismantle it for parts or sell it. That does not exist yet. You got to dismantle or sell every piece individually. The scenarios, the story, I find to be a little bit convoluted. It was all, yeah. I just stepped away from it after a few hours. Did not think that was going to work for me at all. But as I was watching a YouTuber play it, it sort of clicked, because it's an RPG game, I had lost sight of the fact that it is also a Ghost Recon game. And so I went back in and I tried some of the missions straight stealth, no firefight. You can still get to chests. Obviously, you're not getting drops from bad guys because you're not killing any. But you still get drops from chests, so your gear score is still climbing. But you can stealth a lot of missions. And that is true to the spirit, I think, of Ghost Recon. And I found it to be, I have to say, very satisfying and very, it's long. When you play stealth, the missions can go, an hour and a half. But there are also side missions, and if you're familiar with Assassin's Creed, some of the recent Assassin's Creed, Odyssey specifically, it's a massive map. The map is so big that it's almost meaningless how big it is, if that makes sense. It's like Infinity is kind of boring, right? That's from Douglas Adams. Something really, really big is more impressive than Infinity, because Infinity is just like, whatever. It just goes on and on. It's everything. So a really big map is impressive, but a map the size of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, it's so big that its size almost loses meaning because it's so big. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. The map is so big that there's no point imagining getting from one side of it to the other, because you won't. You could stand on one side and run and swim all the way to the other. But what I'm getting at is it has a feeling of an actual real world. because it's so big. And when we think about the real world, we don't think about its total size. We only think about the distance between the place we are and the place we need to get to. Because that's the only thing that really matters to us at that moment. Who cares about the circumference of the Earth? How long is the flight from Sydney to Seattle? That's what I'm after. So that is the same feeling that the Breakpoint map has. It's just so big that who cares how big it is? It's plenty big. And because it's so big, there are missions and side missions everywhere. So you don't really need to do anything in a particular order. You can just wander around and do whatever you want. And as I began to approach it from that angle, it really, it's a fun game, but it's a slow game, and it's not, to me anyway, it's not a farming game like Division or Division 2. I'm not trying to get anywhere. I'm just trying to do things, and the things that I'm trying to do are whatever I come across next. Almost has kind of a Red Dead feel to it. Red Dead 2, the recent one. But yeah, it's got that kind of feel. Forget goals, forget anything. Just do stuff. Just wander around and do stuff as you would in the real world. Don't play it like a video game, play it like real life. Okay. And from that angle, it's a good game, and it needs to be optimized. It's only been out for 3 weeks, but it's killing my system. And I've seen a lot of comments that Division 2, which was released a few months ago, and Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was released a few weeks ago, are made by the same company. Whoa, a little wide. Made by the same company. Division 2, I can run, whoa, easy player. I can run on mostly high, a couple things on ultra, a couple things on medium. And I'm at 60 FPS with fire and explosions and tons of NPCs and my team, 3 other co-op players. No problem. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, not so. I am on medium with a couple things on low. The game is choking at 30 FPS and occasionally will drop into the 20s. Now, different tech. Division 2 runs on Snowdrop, does it not? I don't know what Ghost Recon Breakpoint runs on as far as its engine. But in my opinion, it needs to be optimized. Now, obviously, my system is not a rocket by any means. Customer expects delivery very soon. We're coming around the corner, sir. We are there. My system is by no means a rocket, but I feel like the game could be optimized a little bit, and that is frustrating for me because in a game where shooting is critical, those little frame drops can really give you that sort of stuttering effect, right? I think of it as trying to play between the frames, because whether you plan to or not, you're almost anticipating where you're going to need to be doing something in the frame that you know is missing, right? I don't know if I'm explaining that right. I don't know if I'm explaining anything right lately. But there is a difference playing a shooting game. Is it right there? It's right there. There's a difference playing a shooting game, 30 FPS and 120 FPS. Now, I'm not at 120 FPS, not even close, never have been. But there's plenty of available data that FPS does affect your gameplay in that type of game. Holy smokes. That was everything I needed to tell you, and I just did. That's amazing. Okay, timing. That is timing. We're done. If I can just, yeah. Oh, this is perfect. Put it in neutral. I'm so happy right now. This is a perfect way to start the weekend. Put it in neutral. Set the engine off. Let's see how we did. We are on time. Beautiful. We're already level 37. We don't care about leveling up anymore, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.